I paid attention because I have him in a dynasty league. So I was watching some of his tape, and he actually does show flashes of being at least serviceable.
There are tweets, and I have seen them from Texans personnel, from writers for the Texans and ESPN down in Houston, where they said the Texans front office has said, if the trade for Deshaun includes a quarterback, that's great. Davis is our guy. So we'll see.
Okay, well, I'll believe that after another season. I mean, getting him something else on there will help him, obviously. If you give him someone like Christian McCaffrey, who literally made the Carolina Panthers relevant for his entire career there, then, yeah, you might have something.
All right, we've talked...
And again, Cooks is he's quarterback-proof.
He is good. We're going to finish the Carolina Panthers, and we're going to go to break. But D'Onta Foreman, 1 year, $2 million. Former Browns wide receiver Rashard Higgins, he was solid a couple times, came up pretty big in a couple games, nothing too spectacular. Wide receiver Brandon Zylstra, also nothing too spectacular. Former Rams guard Austin Corbett coming over to Carolina on 3 years, $29.25 million. That's pretty significant for them. They need an offensive line to protect. I'm assuming Chuba Hubbard is the future.
About Carolina is the fact that all of their moves, almost all of them, seem to indicate that they feel like they have a real shot at Deshaun.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Like, they're trying to give him serviceable wide receivers. They're trying to give him protection. They're trying to make it as appealing as possible. That's the way I viewed their free agency so far.
The other thing that I'm seeing in their free agency, one signing makes me think that they're thinking about moving Jeremy Chin to linebacker full time, and we'll talk about that in just a second. But they also grabbed kicker Zane Gonzalez, 2 years, $4.5 million. Defensive end Marquise Haynes, 2 years, $5.5 million. And former Vikings safety, former Cowboys safety, Xavier Woods, 3 years, $15.75 million. They've been teasing Jeremy Chin is a better linebacker than a safety. Are they moving him there permanently, do you think? Who knows?
Or they want Xavier to be, free safety and Chin to just be that strong safety.
Perhaps. But Jeremy Chin, I'm convinced that he can play any position on the field, even quarterback. That is my boy. Don't you say shit about him, or I will come through the mic and slap you in the face. Do not talk bad about Jeremy Chin.
Chin's great.
Prove it.
Smack. Yep. Carolina Panthers also did pretty solid. Got themselves what is currently a third-string running back who got valuable starting time after the Titans' the starter and backup got injured. They got themselves a couple of wide receivers to replace. Who knows what's going to happen?
Most all of their moves are indicating that they're willing to give up McCaffrey and they want to give Deshaun something.
Yeah.
They were aggressive last year in their research and everything that they were doing. It looks like they're trying to. They're almost making moves like they're almost positive that that's where he's going to go.
Yeah. I mean, that's a pretty hefty asking price. Last year, supposedly, they offered Robbie Anderson, Teddy Bridgewater, or 2 years ago, whenever it was, Robbie Anderson, Teddy Bridgewater, Christian McCaffrey, Brian Burns, and 2 first-round picks. So they were willing to give a haul.
Yeah, and it just looks like they're trying to make it more appealing. Because, again, I feel like the X factor in this is the fact that Deshaun can ixnay whatever anybody wants to do.
Yeah, but before we go to break, just think for 1 second how Davis Mills could have performed if on one side he had Brandon Cooks and on the other he had Robbie Anderson. Holy fuck. You got speed, you've got great hands, as you said, shit-proof wide receiver. Just imagine how great that would have been.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I don't think Robbie's that good.
All right, so we are going to take just a very, very quick break. And when we come back, we'll be trying to finish up the rest of the free agency for the NFL. You are listening to Dan D'Antoni Sports. We will be right back. And we are back from our quick little break. In the first part of the show, we talked about free agency for the first 5 or so teams. We are going to continue on with our free agency. And the next team up is the Chicago Bears. They have a lot of work to do. Not a great team. Not even a very good team. I had high hopes for the Bears, but damn, were they dashed. They were so bad.
And then trading away Khalil Mack after all you paid for him and getting nothing in return.
That's okay because the the Las Vegas Raiders drafted Alex Leatherwood with it anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Bears underwhelming free agency so far.
Well, let's...
defensive tackle, that's pretty solid.
Yeah, let's go in. Offensive lineman Lashavius Simmons for 1 year. Guard Lucas Patrick, 2 years, $8 million. Larry Ogunjobi, 3 years, $40.5. That's decent. That's a good signing. Linebacker Nicholas Morrow, who is a fantastic linebacker in Madden, not so great in real life. And then probably the most important signing of all of the signings that we've talked about, Patrick Scales, the long snapper, 1 year, $1.12 million. So Bears,
honestly, they got a steal with the long snapper there, most important position in football.
Yep, absolutely.
I think if you look at the Bears, it's underwhelming. But what they're trying to do is give. I mean, they're obviously trying to rethink how they're doing this, but you see that they're trying to give some kind of protection to what is going to be their future in Justin Fields.
Yeah. Well,
which again, it's important to do. Quarterbacks can't succeed without protection. Some can for a little bit, but I mean, that's what Cincinnati needs to do. So,
yeah, I mean, we'll talk about Cincinnati in just a minute because they're the next team, but Eventually, when you have a quarterback who's asking you to get them an offensive line and you just keep refusing to do so, you end up sending Russell Wilson to Denver. So.
Yep. That's what happens. I hope that Super Bowl was worth it.
Yep. Oh, man. Jesus Christ. That's just...
Who passes on the 1 yard line?
Pete Carroll?
I still can't get over that.
Pete Carroll.
You would think that Pete Carroll would know.
Football.
You would think that Pete Carroll would know that what you do in that situation is you take your mobile quarterback and you fucking roll him out to the front corner of the end zone. Shit, Vince Young beat him in the national championship doing
It was
that.
like an option or something. Literally anything.
Like,
Or just hand it to Marshawn Lynch. You need 1 fucking yard.
quarterback sneak it.
He had gotten stuffed before that.
He had 2 more tries. It was second down from the...
4 times in a row. There's no chance that Marshawn's not getting in there. So,
Seriously.
Exactly. Just keep giving the ball to Marshawn.
It was second down. Or after you failed giving it to Marshawn twice, quarterback sneak that bitch.
Seriously.
And
Actually, you know what? Do anything. Anything else.
if you lose
Aside
that...
from kicking a field goal. That would be the only
Especially
thing
on
you
that. See, that was the other stupid thing, was that it was like an inside crossing route. I can understand passing on second down to vary up the playbook and not let the Patriots know what's coming at them.
Then hit Jimmy Graham in the corner of the end zone.
That a freaking safety could jump on and did. Like, you gotta be an idiot to run that play. So, yeah.
No, do a jump ball and flag play if you need to do.
You have Jimmy Graham. Just fucking throw it to the back of the end zone, and throw it high. He was a basketball player.
Make it a jump ball. If he comes down with it, great. If he doesn't, whatever, you run it with Marshawn on the next play.
Roll Russell Wilson out and have a tight end go with him. It's fucking easy.
What an idiot.
So fucking easy. Either he runs it in, or he hits the tight end. Shit, you can even have Marshawn Lynch going behind you in case he wants to pitch it.
All right. We've talked about this before. Let's keep going.
All right, you guys ready to move on to the Cincinnati Bengals?
Sure.
All right.
Yep.
They've addressed the offensive line. Former Buccaneers offensive guard Alex Kappa, 4 years, $40 million. Patriots center Ted Karras, 3 years, $18 million. Defensive tackle B.J.
I
Hill.
don't think Karras is anything great, but...
I don't think Alex Kappa's that great either.
Better than what they had, though.
Yeah, but that's
You
the
can't really get much worse than Cincinnati. You need to protect Joe.
that's the point that I'm going to make when we get to the Dolphins as well. I'm just going to say it right now. Connor Williams is a terrible offensive lineman. He's so bad. But he's an upgrade over what the Dolphins had. You know? So,
Yep. That's exactly the same theme here.
Yep. I think so. I think Alex Kappa is not worth $40 million, but I'm not the one paying him. I don't think Karras is anything special, but I'm not the one paying him. B.J. Hill, on the other hand, I think B.J. Hill still got some in him. The other Michael Thomas, and then smart using the franchise tag on Jesse Bates. That was smart on their behalf. So far, Cincinnati Bengals having a decent free agency. They've obviously addressed 2 needs, kept like one of their 5 best players using a franchise tag, and then brought in some solid defensive tackle help. I like what they're doing.
Yep.
Yeah.
It serves their needs.
It does. It absolutely does.
Yeah, I think they still are definitely going to look to draft some offensive line help. They still definitely need it, but solid free agency so far.
Yep. And now we're going to move on to the Cleveland Browns. Former Cowboys wide receiver Amari Cooper via trade. Dumbest trade I think the Cowboys have ever fucking made. They took 2 years ago a first-round pick, gave it to the then Oakland Raiders for Amari Cooper, which was a smart trade. They needed a wide receiver. He was 23 years old, had already been to a Pro Bowl twice, and was experienced. So that was a smart trade. However, 2 years later, they traded him and a 6th-round pick to the Browns for a 5th-round pick and a 6th-round pick. What?
Yeah.
I get they needed to clear cap.
Something to do with money.
Definitely has something to do with money. But it
No,
just
that's all it was. I mean, they made the trade. Go God.
Sorry, I was just going to mention Chase Vinovich, and I think that's a